Welcome back. Well, festive buying has brought cheer for car makers like Maruti Suzuki. The company sold around 1 lakh cars in the Navratri period. Senior Executive Director of Marketing and Sales at Maruti told me that the company may sell 1.4 lakh cars in the next 15 days. So which cars are people really buying? Shashank says SUVs, MPVs, premium hatchbacks and entry-level sedans are seeing the highest growth. Maruti is giving highest discount for Alto, Espresso and Celerio due to high inventory, and therefore the company is cutting back on production of entry-level cars. Let's listen in.
The one-day extra sale of the Shera still being compiled. The Navratra sales were roughly in the industry about 2.2 lakh, and for Maruti around the 1 lakh figure. So it's been a good Navratris. Although when you compare it with the same period, Navratri period last year, then it looks like flattish. Last year also the Navratri sales was about 2.2 lakh. But I think the comparison may be misleading because the first 5 days of Navratra last year were also the month end. And in auto industry, the last 5 days of retail is generally very high, irrespective of what month it is. So I think when you look at the comparison, it looks flattish, but a better comparison, I believe, is Shraddh plus Navratri period. There you would see a growth of about 16%. In the industry, 3.3 lakh total sale against 2.83 lakh sales that we saw in the industry last year.
Okay. Let me also ask you about total sales till now as far as Maruti goes for the festive season so far, and what have been the bigger drivers in your portfolio?
Yeah, so if you look at the total sales from the festive season, and as you have said, the festive season actually starts on the 17th of August with the Onam month, the Chingam month, which is Kerala. And if you see the sale from that point till the Navratra end, then which is roughly around 72-day period, we have seen a sale of the industry of about 7 lakh units against 5.83 lakh last year. That's a growth of about 19-20%. Maruti Suzuki's growth is also similar. We have sold in this period about 3.11 lakh vehicles against 2.6 lakh vehicles of last year. That's a growth of about 20%.
Okay. Any major products which have really contributed to this growth so far? Is it coming from SUVs or what?
Yes. So largely because, when the festive season started from 17th of August with the Chingam month in Kerala, and then followed by the Ganesh Chaturthi, and now the Navratras here in the other parts of the country as well. Then fortunately, we saw that the production could be very good because the semiconductor crisis seems to be easing. And that's the reason why we were able to produce a lot of those vehicles which had a long waiting list for Maruti Suzuki, like the Brezza, the Vitara, the Fronx, and so on. And even the Baleno, Swift and Desire production is also back to normal. And therefore, we were able to get these vehicles, and those have largely contributed to the growth that we have seen so far in the festive season.
Right. So you would sum it up as Brezza, Vitara, Fronx, Baleno, Swift, and the Swift Desire.
XL6 as well. So it's like the SUV, the MPV, the premium hatch, the sedans, entry sedan, those have shown a good growth for us.
Right. What about the bread and butter segment, as it's often called, the entry-level commuter car segment? Do you see continuous stress in that? Any improvements at all, Mr. Srivastava?
Yeah, so they're roughly flat. They're about 30% of the industry. Last year, they were about 34% of the industry. So we haven't seen improvement there. And largely because, as I have said earlier, the affordability factor has been coming down in that segment in the last few years because the prices have gone up in response to the regulatory stringency, as also the commodity price increases and so on. And that is why we have seen a decline in that segment. However, given the demographics of our country, a very young population, first-time buyers being high and the better economic growth that we foresee, it is possible that this segment will see a rebound in the near future.
Okay. Now, what would be your outlook for the remaining part of the festive season? How much do you expect Maruti Suzuki to sell during this period, the industry to clock during this period? What kind of bookings do you have, Mr. Srivastava?
Yeah, so current estimates from the field reports is that in the period between Navratra end and the end of the festive period, which is on the Bhai Dooj day, that is on the 14th of November, that's roughly a 15-day period. The sale in the industry expected to be around just above 3 lakh. Last year it was 2.67 lakhs, so a growth of about 12% is expected in the industry. For Maruti Suzuki, we are expecting 1.43 lakh as the sale in this period. That is an estimate for the next 15 days. As a result, in the industry, so far we have done 7 lakh plus this 3 lakh estimate, should get an estimate of just about 1 million mark in the industry. Last year, the similar figure was about 8.5 lakh. So the entire festive season should expectedly close with 1 million plus sale for the industry and 18% growth.
Okay. I would also like to ask you about discounting right now. We had been hearing from different kinds of reports, also some dealerships, about a heavy discount on certain Maruti cars. Was this offered by the company or is it at the dealer level? Are there a lot of festive schemes that the company has launched this time compared to last year?
So it's a mix. Some contribution obviously comes from the dealers, but also from Maruti Suzuki. And
With that, it's a wrap of this special broadcast. More news and updates continue right here on CNBC TV 18.